So today's lecture again is going to be recorded, okay, and we're going to look at the LO3 today, yeah, digital marketing management for tourism, and we're going to look at LO3, which is to understand the digital marketing environment for tourism and hospitality. Is that right? Yeah. And yesterday we looked at LO2, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Do you remember anything about LO2 yesterday? We talked about, or you don't
About
know?
importance
Uh-huh.
and the roles and
Roles and responsibilities. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
processes.
Roles and responsibilities of digital marketers, right? Do you remember any roles and responsibilities or anything else? Can you remember anything? No? Do not do any reading?
I do.
So you should be able to remember these things when you get home. For example, what we looked at yesterday was how digital marketing management is managed in the tourism industry, right? We looked at the importance of digital marketing management. We looked at the roles and responsibilities of digital marketers, and we looked at the application of digital marketing management in the tourism industry. That's the 4 learning outcomes we did yesterday. All right. So you should really go home and look at these and revise and do a bit more reading. Okay. So today we're going to be looking at 3 learning assessment criteria, and the LO3 looks at the digital marketing environment, understanding the digital marketing environment for tourism and hospitality trade. And there are 3 learning assessment criteria within these. The first one is to look at the technological trends affecting the digital marketing management in tourism and hospitality trade. The second one is we need to look at the internal and external factors and the relationship between these marketing factors. Okay, and the third one is to look at some regulatory framework for digital marketing which affect the tourism industry. All right, so these are the 3 things we're going to look at today. The typical thing that you need to go through, or the typical indicative content that you need to look at, because due to the limitation of time and shortage of time, you need to explore a little bit more into the reading after you get. So the typical indicative contents includes like technological trends affecting the digital marketing, like mobile technology, for example, virtual reality, micropayments, right, social media, blockchains, for example, you know, the chatbox or the robots and the contactless payments. Today we have internet booking, you know, to speed up the booking of luggage and booking of hotels and so on. Okay, so we use technological equipment to book all these in tourism, and over the years it has become very much a practice to use these digital gadgets to book seats and hotels and pay contactless and so on. So the cash has nearly vanished out of these. Okay, so these are the technological trends. Then you need to look at the social media or use of social media by tourism and organization. And then the lastly is the looking at the regulations, okay, or laws affecting the digital marketing. Okay, the regulation of digital marketing, right, like Data Protection Act and the national laws. So every country will have their own laws and regulations affecting the tourism industry, in particular the electronic, you know, internet industry and such. All right. So this is the typical content for today's lecture. So let's look at the first one, which is the 3.1, is to look at the technological trends. What do you mean? What do you understand by technological trends? What are they? Any ideas? Over the years, the use of technology has transformed every corner of the society, correct? Over the years, yeah, particularly so in the last 20, 25, 30 years, right? And hospitality trade is not an exception, so it's also included in that. What trends has the hospitality trade experienced over the years? Are you aware of any trends? Like what?
I don't know.
You don't know. All right, this is not very nice. So you don't know what happened in the how the hospitality and hotel payments and the booking of hotels, and when you go to eat, how do you pay? For example, how do you book when you want to go on holiday? For example, when you book in an airline ticket, or when you using holiday, to reserve a place, yeah, booking airline ticket, go and eat in the restaurant. Do you take cash, or do you pay by card?
By card.
Okay, so this is the technology. Over the years, the cash has vanished. I mean, I rarely take cash, right? You use your card everywhere you go. You use your card. Huh? Do you do this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the trend.
this is a trend. This is a pattern. The things have changed over the years. So you don't use money, cash, notes all the time, change and coins and money all the time, full of weight and full of danger. Yeah. Hmm?
Yeah, right.
Trend means changing pattern. Over the years, the things have changed. People don't carry cash these days, or they carry very minimal, maybe £5, £10, maybe very minimal. All right. And they carry cash, not anymore. They try and use card most of the time. Okay. So the hospitality trade has changed over the years by using IT equipment, using the e-com. You buy goods from other places. Do you not buy goods online?
Yeah.
And how do you pay cash? Or
No.
what do you pay? Check?
No.
No. So you pay by
Bank.
bank transfer. You pay by using the card. You pay by direct debit, or you send them electronic transfer. All right. So this is all IT has changed over the years, and so this improves experience for customers. Customers carry less and less cash. You rely on card, and if you lose the card, then you are also in problems, because you don't have cash and you don't have card. What do? You go nothing, huh? You don't do anything except that maybe borrow from some friends, or ask from some other help, or ring the bank because you lost the card or misplaced, or it's not working. So we more or less relying on technology all the time, and this has increased because of the automation. It has increased the payment very faster, very quicker. It saves time, it saves money, it helps customers throughout their journey, because if the customer wants to buy a good and the payment is not going through, that means they will not be able to claim any goods. And if the payment has gone through and they don't get any goods, then they can have a claim from from their bank or who they're sending money, so they are safer. In other words, they can get their money back. Okay. And it saves a lot of hassle as well, but it creates a lot of hassle as well. Do you understand? So the technology has eased over the years. It has eased the transaction and the workload. But having said that, it's also increased the workload for staff. You understand? So in both ways. So there are advantages and there are disadvantages. Advantages are faster payment, quicker transaction, saves time, saves money, processes goods very fast, or processes transaction very fast. And it's easy for, automation is easy for staff to go through, but similar time it increases the workload, because if they make mistake, then there is a lot of IT issues. There is a lot of people involved in getting this problem solved, and it takes time, it takes money out of them. So both ways, okay, technology has improved services, and it has also caused a lot of issues as well. Okay, right. So when we are looking at the reasons as to why or what latest development have taken place over the years in the management of marketing management in tourism industry, there are many reasons, right? The reasons is because of the advent of technology, because of the advent of competition. There's a lot of competition. There's a more advanced technology all the time. There's a lot of artificial intelligence, and the faster communication by internet. Yeah, there's lots of people are paying money by contactless, more popular in retail trade, right? And more mobile people, they are checking in a mobile, using mobile check-ins apps, to book in hotels, to book in restaurants, to book in their luggage at the airport, right? And many of these technologies have grown because they help to reduce waiting times, all right? So there are many, many reasons for using technologies, right? Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they help reduce waiting time. Okay, I'll put this one here. Okay, so these are the reasons, and there are other reasons. These are not exclusive. These are some of the many reasons, right? Means there's a lot of technology about, there's a lot of competition about, there's a lot of artificial intelligence, there's a rise of faster internet, right? Faster internet, competition, right? Contactless payment have been rising. People are carrying less and less cash, and the introduction of technologies has given a lot of people competition, so they want to stay ahead of the game, the competitive edge, and it reduces a lot of time. Faster payment reduces a lot of time. Okay, so these are the reasons. There are other reasons, like as we said, contactless payment. People don't like to carry cash, and the rise of contactless payments, especially in hotels, for example, maybe due to theft, maybe due to danger, maybe due to unforeseen events like losing money and so on. So they don't like taking cash. They like to have a contactless at everywhere, in restaurants, in bars, in cafes, hotels. It speeds the contactless payment, the speed of payments, and improve customer satisfaction. The contactless technology is also compatible with your mobile loyalty programs. It's also, suitable when people don't carry wallets, or they've lost wallet, or they lost credit card, for example. And then if they've misplaced their credit card, they can have a contactless payment, by direct debit and so on. All right. And it's also good way of paying when you want to reduce, when you don't want to contact people. You just human to human contact is less and less, right? So this is the technological trend. Use of robots, for example, has increased in hotels, i.e. they are used in cleaning, they are used in welcoming guests, they are providing customer information service. Yeah, so they are used in some kind of cleaning. You see, so the use of robots has increased over the years in different sections of hotels and restaurants. These robots also serve customers. You know, they serve food, and they act as waiters in restaurants. They deliver food and so on. Okay. So have you come across any of these? Have you seen a robot being serving you, or have you seen serving customers? I haven't seen one, but yet to see. But this is where they are used, right? So the robots are used in cleaning, in welcoming guests, in providing them customer information, in providing customer information, in use of cleaning, right? Right?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Mm.
Or cleaning floors. And this can be taken to other restaurants. Okay, the third reason is a rise of artificial intelligence as well. Artificial intelligence, where a chatbots, you know, have you come across a chat box yet? When you inquiring about a course, when you are inquiring about some kind of inquiry related to your transaction, you know, when you want to contact a company, when you want to know about something or service, then there are a lot of chatbots at these times. You know, if they're not humans and it's out of office hours.
Yeah. They give some informations like.
Yeah. So they give you some kind of information that might be useful, and they pass on this information later to a human who can give you more information, or they can contact you and they can chat with you, they can have a word with you, and so take it further from there. So the chatbots are emerging in the hospitality trade for several years, because the demand has increased. People want quick answers. People want quick answer to their queries. So therefore the use, and not everybody is available when a customer rings. So these chatbots post them right, or gives them a quick answer when the times are busy. Okay, people are living in different time zones, for example, and when the staff is not available, or when in different time zones, the chatbot can answer the queries without a human interaction. They can also give you information, the chatbot, they can give you information about customer services, and later they can transfer your queries to a human who can reply you later, right? Furthermore, right, AI, you know what AI is stand for?
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence, excellent. Okay, so the artificial intelligence is on the rise all the time, and this is used for data analysis. Is used for extending into other important areas in the hotel. The rise of artificial intelligence is rising. So chatbots and the artificial intelligence have been on the rise in the hospitality trade over the years, and this gives a competitive edge to organizations over one another, okay, because they are all fighting for, say, customers, aren't they? Correct? And if they are able to answer their customers quickly on the spot and to the right answer to the right query, okay, they get the business. Whereas others, they want to hold on and give the replies later, may suffer. So this is why. Okay. A fourth reason, okay, technological trend has affected the marketing of tourism and industry is the virtual reality technology. What we mean by this is, before people can book their hotel, before people can book their table in a restaurant or something, they can see the layout. They can see what the decor might look like, what the atmosphere in a particular hotel or room, particular restaurant, particular layout, particular before they book a kind of something, they can see, and they can see what they will see in reality. Okay, so they don't have to visit, they don't have to go physically, but they can see in virtual reality, and this will make a difference between booking and not booking. Okay, so before they can visit, before they can make a booking, they can see what the things will look like, and then they can make decisions according to their own mind. Okay, so this has improved, or this has affected the rise of technology. This has affected the technology advance in the administration of tourism and hospitality. This has also affected the housing trade as well. People don't want to visit properties unnecessarily. They can see how the property looks like in reality when they have a browser from their home. They can have internet browser, and they can see what it look like. Yeah, and especially this technology has come about during the time of COVID, because people couldn't go to to see a lot of properties because of the COVID and spread of COVID. They could see what the house will look like. Okay, and if they decided, okay, they'll put an offer in. If they don't, and then similarly, at the time of COVID, the restaurant business has been or was affected, and people didn't want to go in person to book, but they could book it online. And when they think they'll give the appointment, they can go and eat, and then that good for them. Okay, it makes a difference. Okay, mobile check-in. Yeah, have you heard of the mobile checking in?
Yeah,
I've never done this, but somebody has done it for me. Mobile, you can book in luggage, for example, before you can travel. So if from home, you can book in airline check-in, yeah, and you don't have to wait in queues. This will improve the customer experience. This will customer service. You don't have to wait at the airport. You don't have to waste your own time. And especially this was good when the COVID season was in place. People just booked in online and then dropped their luggage off, and off they went. Okay, so mobile check-in improves customer experience. Okay, another reason that the another technological trend that has affected the tourism industry is the rise of the Wi-Fi. The introduction and the implementation and the use of Wi-Fi in hotels, in the tourism industry. People want to see Wi-Fi being placed in their rooms, in the hotel, in the reception, so they can spend their time communicating with with the outside world, right? And see where they want to go. Maybe they want to visit other places. So the rise of the Wi-Fi has given a different experience to guests staying in hotels. And because the rise of these Wi-Fi is getting faster and faster, right, like Wi-Fi 6, is more than 30% faster than the other traditional Wi-Fi systems. It's creating a lot of wow for connecting people's phones and laptops and other devices to Wi-Fi, because they want to communicate, and they want to make sure that these restaurants or these hotels, they stay ahead of the game, so they can compete for their customers, and the customers feel good when they think that Wi-Fi, where they are staying in hotels, they are faster than the other companies, or they're faster than the other hotels. You see, some hotels have very old Wi-Fi system, very slow, and they can't talk So instead of buying cards or buying some kind of a package for their mobiles, they would like to use the Wi-Fi system. Okay, and it adds to the comfort, it adds to the experience. Okay, it adds to the another dimension of customer experience, and people like to get this experience. Okay, faster and more reliable service can help hospitality companies to stand out from their rivals. All right. Yes. Okay. Is that okay? So we've considered the factors. We've considered different factors, or 5 or 6 factors. There are other factors, and you can explore them. You know, but what we said, that the rise of technology has affected the development of digital marketing management. It has affected the hospitality trade tremendously by rise of technology, by contactless payment, by Wi-Fi, by mobile check-in, by virtual technology, by you know, internet and so on. So this is has experienced over the years, because the rise of technology during the COVID and the other season, and the faster and better communication system has affected all this trade. So it's very important that you are aware of these trends. And this has also given rise to what you call them, a rise in the regulatory framework. Okay, this has given a lot of rise to laws and regulations, right? So the 3.3, it connects very well. The 3.1 connects very well with the regulatory framework, because there's a rise of technology, but then the government has implemented lots of laws and regulations affecting people, affecting people's privacy. So there are all the governments in the world have some kind of digital laws, okay, regulating the framework for marketing, for buying and selling, for booking and so on, regulating, making sure that people are protected. Okay, and one of the laws is the what you call some Data Protection Act, or GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, and it's one of the biggest data protection and privacy law over the years. And this is applicable throughout the European community, and also it affects organizations throughout the world, okay, because it wants people to be safe. It wants people to collect the information, but abiding by strict rules for collecting, processing, and protecting people's data, people's privacy, people's information, people's private data like name and address and phone number. It wants to make sure that people aren't misusing this information. They're not selling this information to the publication companies or to the marketing companies. And if they are selling, then they are breaking the law. And there were cases that when marketing companies collect this information, their people's data has been sold for many, like Cambridge Analytica, one of the companies that was affected, or that affected people, and they sold lots of people's information to other companies. This company was called Analytica, Cambridge Analytica, and they were taken to court, and they were making misuse of people's information under the GDPR. Okay, they broke the law, so therefore they were sued, and they got taken to court, breaking these laws. So the GDPR is very important legislation over the years that has been passed. Okay, and it gives people's right not to sell their personal data to third parties. Okay, you can have the right to see your data. Okay, you can demand by paying a little bit of fees, and you can see what information people hold about you. You can have the right to view your data. You have access, right? Ensuring the data is correct and it's secured and it's not sold to the third parties for marketing purposes. All right. So under the GDPR, the consumer has a lot of protection. Okay. So this is a key legislation. You can look at the data regulation by going to the gov.uk, okay, www.gov.uk website, and to see what their legislation are, what type of legislation are they passing, okay, the digital regulations, and you can see they are passing a lot of regulations. All right. Similarly, in other countries, you have laws relating to anti-spam, okay, or what you call them, junk mail. Yeah, do you receive junk mail?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody does. So there's law regarding to junk mail, spam. So in the US, there is a law called Spam Act, which requires commercial emails to make sure that they are sending to the right person, maybe, or getting the clear information, or they are sending the correct promotional contact. Yeah, make sure that the content is right, so that these are not broken. These laws are very clear, very transparent. So there is anti-spam law. Advertising standards. There's you have in the US, they have a FTC in the US, which enforces regulations related to the transparency of advertising, or advertising standards in the UK, right? Advertising standards are there in force. Okay. Social media, for example, social media advertising, right? There are guidelines on social media advertising. What can you advertise and what can't you advertise? You have to make sure that the clear disclosures and products are, enhanced or produced or advertised on the social media platform are the right one, making sure that these are not fraudulent or miscalculated, or they are not selling some information which is not properly disclosed, right? Okay, so there are a lot of regulatory framework. There's a lot of regulations being passed over the years. Yeah, there is all sorts of other information, and it's important for tourism and hospitality trade to stay informed about these regulations, because they want to make sure, or they make sure that people comply to these regulations. They otherwise the companies will have all sorts of claims against them, and they will have ramifications for their damage, for their reputation, the loss of business, a lot of property, a lot of trust. So that people will not really do business with them, right? So therefore, it's important that these regulations are implemented, and the governments make sure that these laws are implemented to protect customers all the time. Also, the business are making sure that they are complying with these laws. Otherwise, their reputation will go in tatters. People will not really do business, and they will suffer. Okay, so 3.3 is tied with the 3.1. Okay, so there are IT trends over the years, and those trends have given rise to a lot of legislation to protect the rights of people and organizations. Okay, and you need to look at them. All right, up to so far here, you're okay with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have lots of regulations, we have a lot of trends over the years. The IT has moved faster than it used to be, and this has given rise to a lot of protection to customers, because customers are not based in one country, they're based in all over the world now, because they are buying and selling or booking holidays from anywhere, from everywhere. And so they don't know what they are dealing, who they're dealing with. So they, they want to be protected, of course, right? And so therefore, the government has, realized that people will come over, and they want to make sure that the companies advertising their services in digital format are telling the truth. Otherwise, people will suffer, and then their reputation will go down. So this is not what people need. The companies need to be protected as well as the customers. So this is lies in the law of legislation of digital marketing. Okay. Now going on to 3.2. Now 3.2 looks at your relationship, assessing the relationship between internal digital marketing and external digital marketing. Okay, the relationship between external marketing and internal marketing. Now, internal marketing in an organization, right, includes, for example, what does it include? What do you think the internal marketing is? Any ideas? How do the company use the digital or technology to market itself internally? Okay. No idea? Okay. Internally, right? Internally, companies have the use of, say, they have the use of intranet. Have you heard the term intranet?
Internet, like internet.
Yes, there is internet and there is intranet. So internet is for the outside world and inside as well. But specifically, the intranet is used by companies to advertise and to enhance their relationship internally. Okay, and it's for employees only. Nobody can access from outside. Okay, so this way the companies can market itself internally to employees. Okay, they use the intranet, INTRANET, right? This is one of the digital tools and platforms which informs or disseminates or gives information to its employees about the company, right? It educates employees. It tells them about the company's product. It tells them about the services of an organization is providing. It tells them what the company is about, what the company's business is, how they want to deal with the outside world. So they provide lots of information about training. Okay, the intranet is one of the digital marketing tool that tells the employees about their training opportunities, understand, about their communication, about the culture of the organization, it tells them what the company sells, what the company is about, when is the meeting, what's the information about everything that the company does. So people are aware of the internal standards, internal values, internal things about the company. So you can talk to the outside world about your company, understand? So this technology is to market internally, right? So people know what the company is about. It helps them to raise standards. It helps them to use the technology or the best practices for customers. Okay, it helps people to understand what the company's brand values are, products are, practices are. How does the internet is used into the social platform? It tells people about newsletters. It tells them about the latest developments. It tells people within the company about the company procedures, company policies, company news, company's initiatives. All right, it shares a lot of good stories, about success stories. Okay, it tells you lots of things about this internal social culture of the organization, maybe a prize giving ceremony, or maybe loyalty, or maybe identification within the company. So all you are doing is you are internally promoting the company. Okay, so one way you can promote is use the intranet. Okay, you can use newsletters, you can use updates, you can use the technology to enhance your image within the organization. Do you understand? Using banners, using emails, using letterheads, using all sorts of communication materials. Okay, so this is the relationship between, so this is all about the relationship between internal marketing and external. So when people are competent, when employees know about their services, when they're working in an organization, then they can transfer this skill, they can transfer this to the outside world. So everybody will be saying the same thing about the company. Okay, not everybody is going to give different information to different people at different times, right? So this is, you understand? So everybody is going to give the same information to the outside world when they are using the technology, whereas it may not have been possible before, because people will say different things to different customers different times, because they'll have knowledge of the company as they see. But now, because the things are on internet, because the things are written, because they think they can see, okay, people will say the same thing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. And externally, okay, when we are looking at the relationship between internal and external, no, internal is for people working in organization. External is when we are talking, or when the employees are talking to the external world, to the external customers. And externally, the relationship between what is written on marketing materials or marketing publications is like content marketing, for example, to promote business, to promote business in a relevant information, to attract customers, to attract and engage customers. We want to make sure that the content is right. Okay, we want to make sure that the information that you give is correct, so you can attract the customers, you can promote the business. So if you're, so when people are internally, when people are looking at the information, they are saying the same thing to the outside world, because these videos, these infographics, these blogs will say the same thing, and people will repeat this to the outside world. So you are attracting customers, you are retaining customers, you are engaging customers in a way that should be. Okay, externally, using of social media, for example, you are using social media in external social media to transact or to interact with the external world, with the external audience, to share content, to run advertisements, to make sure that you are building a relationship between your company and the customers. So the social media is important, social media marketing. Okay, search engine, we said last week, search engine optimization, use of websites, use of internet or online contacts, right, will make it easier for potential customers to find relevant information, i.e. click of a button and then you get the information, right? So the search engine optimization is, when you are optimizing the brand's online content to rank higher in search engine, these results will give you information on your company and lots of information on particular content that you need. Okay, we also said that pay as you advertise, or pay per click, right? This is when you are running advertising campaigns to target particular people or to particular audience, and you pay for what you advertise. You're going to pay how much you're going to advertise, and you pay as you think. So this is called pay per click. Okay, so you can choose that relationship between internal and external email marketing and campaigns to lead, promote businesses and so on. So when we are looking at the external content, when we're looking at the external marketing, we are talking about the internet, we're talking about the search engine optimization, we are talking about the email marketing, we're talking about the content, pay-per-click, and so other marketing techniques. And combined with the internal and external, we want to make sure that what is the relationship between the internal and external marketing. Okay, we want to make sure that the information that you give is consistent. Okay, so the relationship between internal and external digital marketing is very important, in the sense that whatever employees give this information to customers are giving the same message or giving the same content. They are giving the same type of thing that given by one person and is the same as the other. So the consistency is very important in portraying or displaying or getting the message across. And this should reflect in the goals and identity and vision and mission of the organization as a whole. So, okay, and this will help organization to build up its values, right? Feedback, okay. Secondly, the relationship between internal and external marketing is important in feedback or building image, okay, or brand image. Employees, should be engaged by providing the right feedback. Okay, they should be providing the valuable insight to the company and give valuable feedback with customers. So when the customers is interacting with yourself, so the internal organization people working in there, they help the customers in the right ways, making sure that they are getting good interaction with them, and it will help feedback. It builds up relationship between internal and external customers, right? Internal employees and external. So you can use different external strategies to promote the business and so on. The relation, the third factor is to build up the brand image, i.e. what it means by brand image is when people internally, they are good in providing information to the external world, they are positively reflecting the image of the organization, right? Do you understand? And if the people inside are competent, they are informed, they are well connected, they are more likely to portray a positive image of the organization to the customers, to the public, to the outside world. And so, their reaction of the outside world will be positive, because people inside are competent, they are informative, they are giving the right information, they're very polite, they are very forthcoming, they are very helpful, they are very happy to give information and so on. They're not rude, they are not lack of information or they don't know. They are fully aware, fully trained, fully informed, right? They have a good body language or good linguistic skills, and they are positive in the sense that they're giving update information to the customers, and so the customers can make informed decision about whether to deal with this particular company or they don't want to deal with this particular company. Do you understand? Yeah. So it gives a brand image of that organization. Okay. Employees can do that. They can contribute to the marketing efforts by providing life stories, by providing feedback, by providing reviews, by providing experiences of the customers, and then that will entice other customers to buy into the business or to get the new experience of them, so they can try that. Okay, so when we are assessing the relationship between the internal and external digital marketing, we want to make sure that the people working, employees, are fully informed so that they can portray their experiences, or they can give information to the outside world to enhance the reputation of the organization. So this is the assessing the relationship. So there is a very much correct information. Okay, so internally and externally, there's a good relationship between that. So 3.2 looks at this. So what we looked at all this during this conversation, we looked at 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3. So 3.1 was basically to look at the trends of technology that has affected the trade, that's affected the hospitality trade over the years, right? Like the digital marketing, like the internet, like the web CT, like the artificial intelligence, like early booking, you know, and so on. So payment, contactless payment, and so the decline of checks, decline of cash payments, and it has given rise to contactless payments, right? Over the years, because people buy goods and services throughout the world. Okay, so it's easier to transfer payment by digital transfer. Then we looked at the regulatory framework, i.e. the laws and regulations, and one of the most important regulation is the GDPR. It used to be GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, that applies in the UK and the EU, and also it applies throughout the world, and to protect customers, to protect people who are affected by the internet or their information, and they have the right, or they have the protection of the law to not to have their information sold or be looked at by a third party, and not for other than what it was used to be stored for, and it should not be stored for longer than it's necessary. Okay, so you can have you have your right to view your information held by, say, medical experts like doctors and hospital and surgery. You have the right to see your information by paying a little bit fees and asking them to send information. You can view your record, and if there is a mistake, you can ask them to correct that mistake. Okay, so the GDPR is a very important legislation. Okay, and there is other legislation on digital platforms, or use of digital mobiles, or you know, digital okay, the digital advertising, or the Anti-Spam Act, or unfair commercial practices, or the endorsement guidelines, and there are lots of social media advertising laws and so on. Okay, are we okay on this?
Yeah.
This is the so the LO3 basically is to understand the digital marketing environment for tourism and hospitality. We looked at the technology, we looked at the internal and external relationship between the technology, and we looked at the laws affecting these technologies. So this is very important and, you know, very informative, and you make sure that these are covered and looked upon. Okay, so you can look at when you have the time, you can read into these at your leisure. There are some references I have put together, and they'll be on your Moodle. Okay, all right. Any question, any queries, anything that's confusing you or bothering you, or you're not clear? You know, I've tried to simplify things because it's easier for people to understand when we are talking simple and straightforward language. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
We will talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Okay. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye.
And see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.